What's up, guys? It's Seajayfour, and welcome back to another episode of Shadowcraft. I believe it is episode 6, and today, well, the first thing I was told to do is check out that building behind me, and Cowdog Friends is actually in my room. He made me a little surprise, and I'm a little bit scared of dying. Okay, keep in mind that since Cowdog Friends is standing next to me, I'm gonna be nice, so don't judge my immediate reaction. And also, if there's any background noises, that's just Cowdog Friends in the background, because if it seems like I'm talking to anyone, that's why he's in the background. I was talking to him, so yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, your house needs a little bit of interior design, so I helped you out.
Thanks, Bernard. Okay, well, I don't think I'm gonna die, but we'll see. Ooh, this is fancy. I like it. It's perfect.
I made sure to.
uh,
Yeah, I had to incorporate the 6 to 8 dorite blocks that we have in the whole end.
uh-huh. This is parkour, right? Is that what this is meant to be?
Oh,
Oh, well, that's what it is now. I mean, I'll
ta-da!
take these.
No, that's part of the
Okay,
decoration.
my bad, my bad. I don't know how I feel about this. I like some of this, like I like this, but like
It's supposed to be ugly.
this here is like, ooh, don't know about that. I don't know about these melons either. Like, what is this?
Why not?
I like some of the. I might like use some dripstone for some of this actually, because I kind of like how it looks. Well, thanks for the inspiration, I guess. I don't think so. I don't think this is staying. This is uh, this is pretty rough. What the? Oh, you put obsidian in the corners? I'm gonna have to mine that. I don't want to mine that. Oh,
Just keep it.
no, I'm not keeping this. This is awful. Ugh. Yeah, my interior needed help, but I needed good help. As in, not this mess in here. I don't even want to go in there. So, well, that doesn't really change my plans for today. I was gonna create an interior anyways, but I guess now I've gotta take out an interior and make a new one. So that should be fun. I've got some other kind of big plans for today. Not too huge, but you know, plans nonetheless. But first, we're gonna do this interior, so I guess I'm gonna start taking that monstrosity in there down, because it's not good looking. I mean, seriously, like, what was he thinking when he decided to do this? I don't really, I don't really understand. It's not like, uh, I mean, at least there's some useful blocks here. Like, I'll take these. Let's see how much damage this dripstone does. Nice. Okay, we can get rid of this, and we can get rid of all these cacti actually. These random gravel pillars in the corners, and just kind of everywhere. Like, what was the what was the thought process behind all of this? He was like, yeah, you know, it'd be funny to make a really bad interior that no one would ever like to look at ever. I mean, I kind of like some of these hopper plant things, like that little thing. That's actually a pretty good idea. But like the melon's not really so sure about. I'm gonna need like a shulker box or something to get this all put away because there's a lot of stuff there and I have a full inventory of junk as usual. This way, instead of an inventory full of junk, I can have an inventory and a shulker box full of junk. Finally, all this junk in my inventory came in handy. I've got shears to mine all this awful looking wool here. Instamine. What am I gonna do with this is the question. I don't need this to ever exist. I have an idea. Oh, there's no beacon effect over here even. Oh, he did the ceiling too? I didn't realize you could mine calcite so quickly. Alright, it seems that all of this interior that was here. Alright, it seems that all the interior that was in here is gone. And that took me a lot longer than I would like to admit. And I did not enjoy one bit of it, Mr. Bernard. Now I just need to figure out what I'm actually gonna do in here. I might create like an upper floor so that there's kind of an area down here and an area up here so that you can access all the stuff up here. Like, it's kind of annoying to try and access the bone meal chest from here. Not super easy to access. And like this ladder is not in the best spot and you can't really see the farm working. So we'll do something about that. And I kind of don't like seeing the moss farm from below because it's not exactly the prettiest thing, like I said in the last episode. So let's get going on an interior. So let's see how well my idea is gonna work. Okay, I have this put in, so hopefully I like how the floor looks after I strip all these, because otherwise I'm gonna have a lot of stripped logs that I'm not gonna know what to do with. This is very satisfying though. I like it. I'm really glad that I like this because I did not want to have done all of that for nothing. So I'm glad that I like it. I feel like it brightens up this room a lot, and I guess the torches help with that too, but like, I feel like it makes this room feel brighter than it did before. Obviously not as bright as earlier, but that was just horrendous to look at, so the question is what next? And I think the answer to that question is I want to do the second floor now, but I really don't have any idea on what I want to make it out of. I mean, I've got a bunch of extra spruce, so I could just do spruce planks. That might look nice. Let's send, I don't know. Let's see where this ends up getting us. Oh, yes, it's the perfect height. This is exactly what I was hoping for. Man, I must just be really good at designing buildings or something, because I got the dimensions perfect for both the exterior and the interior without even trying to do it. It's awesome. And the upper floor slash roof has gone in, and I am liking this so much better. The lever's a little more accessible. We can add a trapdoor in here so that you can kind of go around and access parts of the farm that are a little bit inaccessible. Yeah, and this chest is a little difficult to access, so the trapdoors will make it a little easier to do. And this means that I don't need a ladder coming all the way up to here. And I can block that off so it looks maybe a little bit better. Now I still haven't decided what I'd like to do for getting up here yet. And I was thinking maybe a staircase, but I kind of want to keep it symmetrical in here. So I'm not totally sure what I want to do. But obviously the ladder's got to go. Well, it definitely looks cleaner now, but still not totally sure on the way up. Maybe I could do a bubble elevator on each side. That could look cool. I could maybe do a slime block launcher. That might be pretty cool looking. And it would look pretty clean also. There'd be nothing there to block any window view or anything. The problem is I need sticky pistons and slime blocks. Now I've got sticky pistons in my ender chest, but I don't know about slime blocks. Well, it turns out some people had some slime blocks, so that was pretty lucky. Now I just gotta figure out how to make this work. Now, some of you guys might know this, but the problem with making slime block launchers is that you need to have immovable objects next to them, which is not always the nicest thing to look at. So I need obsidian kind of all around these slime blocks, which isn't going to look super great, but also it's kind of necessary. I don't need to use obsidian, but I think that's the thing that's going to be like the least, I don't know, outstanding block that I could use. Like prying obsidian, probably not going to look the best. And neither is probably any glazed terracotta or anything. Well, it is the perfect height. And I've actually removed the trapdoors because you can now walk around all the way around the whole thing without needing to crouch or anything. And the chest is a little bit more accessible now that that block is gone. And this is also a lot easier to access. This bone meal chest up here, much better to get to. And you can see the farm working from up here, from this upper deck here. I'm not sure I'm going to add too many decorations or anything up here, but obviously I'm going to have to light things up a little, so maybe I'll just throw around some torches right now then. Because we don't really want any endermen spawning up here, because they can get annoying. And thankfully the lava helps a little bit with the lighting up here, so there's not too much lighting up that needs to be done. Alright. I think that's about good for this upper floor. Doesn't really need too much detail since there's already so much stuff up here with the entire moss farm and stuff. And we've now got a nice way to get up and down. The only thing that needs to be done is just some details down on this bottom floor here, because let's face it, there's not much to look at here. Like, the main attraction before was the moss farm, but now that it's completely closed off, there's not really much to look at. So I don't really have a plan for what I'm doing for the interior of this. But the one thing I did like about the old interior, the really ugly one, was these little hopper bushes in the back. So I guess I can start by putting a few of those in. Although I don't know how well the hopper fits in. Maybe I won't use hoppers because these are actually valuable too. So maybe I can do something else to contrast a little bit with the walls. A little something like this. Composters work perfectly, I think. Thank you for all these birch logs. These are going to come in very useful crafting composters. Except I made way too many birch slabs. I don't know what I'm going to use all these for. But since there's no villagers in the area, these aren't going to cause problems. And I think that looks really nice, actually. I kind of want to make it feel a little bit homely, so I don't know. Little something like this. Yeah, that looks not bad. These azalea leaves are really nice looking for interiors. I think they fit well with a lot of stuff. It really brings a little bit of color into the build, which is nice. It's looking a wee bit nicer in here. Still need more details though. We can get some lanterns going around here to light the place up a little bit more. That way we don't need any torch spam around the room. This should keep Endermen from spawning in here. That looks pretty good. No more torch spam. Okay, it needs more detail, but I'm not sure what to add. What does it feel like it needs? Let us consult Dr. Google. If we had some couches in the area over here, like a little something like this. Maybe a little smaller though. I've finally gotten it. And interiors are kind of tough sometimes. Obviously, it's not going to stay stone bricks because who wants to sit on a stone brick couch, am I right? Aw, you can't make calcite stairs? That's a bummer. Calcite's a seriously cool block. But you can make deep slate stairs. What do we think of this? We think that deep slate sounds super cool when you place it down. And we think that that actually looks really good, I think. Because it's the only thing that really matches the walls, and it kind of actually looks like a couch. Like, most of the couches that I've built in Minecraft aren't exactly the right texture, but this comes pretty close. The only other texture that comes even close for me is quartz, and it's kind of hard to mine quartz when you're stuck in the end. And I think this actually looks really good, if not better than quartz. So there's that. That's looking really nice. I think this is almost done, but it feels like it maybe needs a little something more in the middle. Something in the form of maybe a chandelier. A little something like this. How do we think that this looks? I mean, it's not bad. It definitely helps fill out the room a little more. I couldn't make it any lower because then I'd be bonking my head up against it, and that's not exactly the nicest feeling. And I wanted some lights in it, so I've got the lanterns at the top, and I think it's not actually too bad looking, all things considered. Like, it's not a huge chandelier, and this room doesn't really need a huge chandelier. It just needs some sort of light source at the top, I feel like. Something filling out the middle of the room. And I think it does that pretty well. And now we've got the entire space lit up really well. And I think that this is a really nice looking interior, actually. I think it's not too much, but also not too little. It's got pretty much the entire space filled out, and this is definitely not what I was picturing in my head when I started building, but I really like how it ended up turning out. And we've got the slime block launcher fixed a little bit more, so it's not so, I don't know, it doesn't look as bad. Like, the obsidian stands out, sure, but like, there's nothing you're gonna do about that. And then honestly, all in all, it doesn't intrude on the build that much. And I think it's a cool way to get up here. So, yeah. Easily accessible farm. All the chests are super easily accessible. You can walk around up here, take a look at the farm while it's working, And all in all, I think this is a super solid build. I'm really happy with what I managed to do here. Now the only thing this place is missing is a crafting table, I've realized. And that can go somewhere up here. Right there would actually probably be a good spot for that. I honestly have no idea how I ended up with 5 water buckets. I don't really remember having these in my inventory ever, but hey, I'll take what I can get. Okay, that was kind of my main project for the day, was doing the interior of this, and I think it looks really nice, a lot better than what Bernard decided to do. The only thing this building is missing now is some moss around the outside, just to kind of show what it is, because I think that could add a little bit, because it kind of feels like it comes out of nowhere, just out of the grass, and I think it needs a little bit of lead up, maybe, if you know what I mean. Ooh, that was very scary. Oh, I just had a heart attack. Oh my gosh. Woo. That was. I got so scared right there. Oh my gosh. It's a very good thing I have an Elytra, because I would have been really upset losing all this really good stuff. I gotta be a little more careful now, I guess. But we got some moss around the outside, and I think it's looking good. I think it I think it adds a little bit of, I don't know, some extra detail that it felt like it was kind of missing. Now people should be able to tell that this is a moss farm, since, you know, there's moss and stuff growing all around it. Ah, and the roof. The roof is made of moss, so hopefully people will be able to tell what this is. And why the heck are there so many Endermen around here? I don't need them spawning all over here. What the heck? Will this light up the area is the question. Yes, okay. That is awesome. Oh, this is super cool. I didn't know this was down here. That's awesome. Okay. And then we can fly back. See if there are any Endermen spawning. And it doesn't look like there really are any spawning around here, which is awesome, because Endermen kind of get annoying sometimes, spawning all over my builds. I'm super happy with how this is looking, and I would call this a finished project for this moss farm. Kind of got to mess around with some of the new 1.17 blocks, and well, I guess it's not really new anymore, but you know what? Whatever. They're nice looking blocks, and this is kind of the first time I've gotten to use them in an actual build. So I'm happy with that. And the other thing I want to do in this episode is I actually have decided I'm going to add some floors to this tower. I like it. Okay, it feels a little smaller, which I kind of like. I've got another floor up here. I guess this can be my storage floor. The storage floorage. No. Okay, so I actually decided to take this entire floor down just because I had a really smart idea. So instead of upper half slabs like I was originally planning, I'm going to do lower slabs, because it's not really going to change anything. I'm just going to have chests around the outside, so it won't make a huge difference. But the important part about it is that it's going to stop Enderman from spawning, which will be super nice. I'm not gonna have to light up this build or anything. And since we're in the end, it's bright all the time, even if you don't have torches, which is really nice because that means I can still see even though my build's not gonna end up being lit up. I'm getting a little bit tired of Endermen at this point because they're just all over the place and all up in my builds, and then I'll accidentally look at them or something and they'll end up getting mad at me, and it's kind of just a pain in the butt. These floors are a little bit harder to access, but I think that's okay because I'm not going to be coming to these floors as often as I'll be going to the top, because the top's where, the main lookout is up here. This is where I'll be coming probably the most often, even though there's not a whole ton up here. And let's be honest, I'm not going to be coming here too much after I find a way out of the end. Inevitably, I will. Who knows? Maybe it'll come within the next couple episodes. Yeah, I really like how it's looking down here. It feels less like a building and more like a cave, which I was kind of going for. And I really like the kind of cave vibe going on. And the moss blocks really help complete that feel, and with the vines and like the mossy stone bricks and stuff, I think it looks really nice. Okay, we can start getting some of these chests in place just to start out our storage system. Okay, so while I was thinking, I added a couple more details in here, and I think it's looking a little better with the oak wood and the lanterns. Just brightens it up a bit, which I think that's what it needed. Okay, so I thought about it for a while, and I think I had a pretty cool idea for what I could do for the top floor just for decoration. And this means I'm gonna need a little bit more amethyst. So obviously I'm gonna do what any good Minecrafter would do, and I'm gonna steal it. Is he really ever gonna need all this amethyst? Besides, I just need a little bit of it. Not even this whole stack. That's probably more than I'll need. Okay, so the plan here is I'm going to make like a dome out of obsidian. But the cool thing is gonna be that I'm gonna have some amethyst crystals up in the obsidian, so it kind of looks like the end sky, or at least like somewhat of a starry sky. Hopefully this looks how I'm picturing it in my head, because if it looks anything like I think it'll look, it's gonna be pretty awesome. Let's just say it didn't look how I pictured it in my head, so I'm sticking with the obsidian. And I think it looks not too bad, but I kind of got to theme the room a little more. I think that maybe helps out this room a little bit. Just gives it a little bit more color. And this room has got kind of an end kind of feel, which is what I wanted. I really like this amethyst and kind of want to use it, so that's what I'm gonna do instead. So I got a little carried away, and this is what the room now looks like. And I mean, kind of fits the wizard tower vibe with the crystals growing everywhere. I've gotta have important crystals for my important magic, of course. This, I think, is a finished build, which seems crazy saying that, but I think this is a super solid build. I think it has come together really nicely, and so has that. This is two finished builds that I'm really proud of in this episode. that's going to be where we end off the video today. Hit the like button, make sure you subscribe. This has been CJ, and I will see you later. This was a really solid episode. I think this might be the most that I've ever managed to do in one episode. See you in the next one.